Hi, so I'm making this video to talk a bit about how trends played out basically, and how to use trends and the bigger picture context to understand where price is going next. So having a look at this structure here, we can see the entire day we had been in a downtrend. Initially this one here that I'm highlighting, which had first of all had this overshoot, and we know that when a trend overshoots, it's common that we will be getting a break, which happened here. So this overshoot led to this break, and after the break we are expecting the trend to attempt to play out, which happened here as well. So this is the break. Okay, so I had to stop the video for a bit, but going back at it, so when we have any downtrend, we have an overshoot of specific trend, in this case a downtrend. The overshoot usually leads to breaks, which is something we had here. So this overshoot here had this break, and then after we get the break, we expect the trend to attempt to play out with a new extreme. In this case, we expect to make a new low, and usually that happens with two legs, so which is what we had here, eventually making a new low for this downtrend. So price action played out as expected. And then another clue here how to look at trends is that after we only had this, let me move this out for a bit. So this downtrend, the overshoot, the break, two legs to a new low. When you get these swings here, and basically you can look at this area to see if you find resistance in this case, which happened here. That's good indication that a larger downtrend may be forming. So at that point you are considering this downtrend may be in play. You use these swings to set the downtrend lines, and then this swing here to set the downtrend lines on the bottom half. So after we make these two legs, now this initial trend is played out, but you can see the price is pushing lower, and eventually it overshoots even this larger downtrend here. And then we have the same thought process as in here. We are looking for a reversal pattern to set up so that this downtrend plays out with a break and then two attempts to make a new low. So this is what happened here. This downtrend here in yellow overshot the larger blue downtrend. Eventually that led into a break, which you can see here, and the same idea happens here as well. So this large blue downtrend overshoot, it leads into a break, which happens here. We also get a break of the larger yellow downtrend over the last 2 days here, and then we can see that in the overnight session we're actually getting two attempts to make a new low, and we successfully make a new low for this trend here. So now this trend is played out, and we repeat the process. You can look here, just look how well this highs hit this potential larger downtrend. So now going into today's session, you may consider that a larger trend may downtrend here may be in play like that, but that's another topic. So main takeaway for now is how trends play out, right? Usually you get overshoot, breaks, pushes to new low, and to see a way to see if the trend will continue to the same direction, you get a reversal, is to watch how it reacts around this potential trend line. So when you see this overshoot here, right, you get the break. Do you get a new high, or do you get resistance around this area, indicating that the downtrend may be extending, which happened here? Same here. We got these two legs up, but we find some initial resistance at this area, and yeah, eventually we made that new low. And the other topic I wanted to point out is that this also applies for the other side as well. Even for corrections, we still have a bearish bias. But if you look at how price acts, we initially, after overshooting the large blue downtrend, we had two legs up this here, and they were the break for this trend that eventually overshot the blue downtrend. So this smaller downtrend had this break, and after this overshoot, and after this break, right, now we are expecting a potential new low for this yellow downtrend here, which we can see here. So the context is a bit mixed here because we have been bearish all day, and we have this downtrend here with the overshoot and now the break, and we potentially expect a new low for this small downtrend, right? So a clue here is looking at this down measure move, and you have two options. It's either you would get two legs to a new low, successfully achieving a new low, or as happens here, you would just get a break to form a larger break for this blue downtrend. So a way to look at that is to see around the down measure move, how does price react. So if we were to make a new low, you would expect the second leg of the break to be something like this, push through the down measure move, retest it from below, potentially push lower. But when you see such clear reaction here and the push above the EMA, it's a good indication that a larger break may be forming, something like this, right? And we may get a break of the larger blue downtrend here, which eventually happened. And even here, the same idea applies. You would want to see how price reacts here. It found some resistance at first, but it clearly shortly after managed to push through, indicating that this break may become even larger. So you're thinking of something like this as a break. And this break is for this large yellow downtrend. So price really gets bigger picture as time passes. So yeah, these two legs, a break, two attempts higher, pushing to this up measure move, and finally making a new high. One other thing to point out is let me clean up a bit this chart, the way to look at trends. So we initially had this trend, overshoot, break, new high, but we keep pushing higher. When we see that, we consider that the uptrend, the correction uptrend here, may be enlarging, and we can see that we even for this uptrend we have this large overshoot, right, which was formed by this smaller leg here, right? And even from this swing low, we have this other potential uptrend. So the thing is, after failing to make a new low, here, price spikes up, right, pushing above, forming this uptrend here. Then this again fails to make a new low here, and we get this push here, which has its own smaller uptrend. And at that moment, here in this area here, we have the following bigger picture context. So we have been bearish all day. We just made a break for the large downtrend here. So at that moment, we're expecting two legs, at least as attempts to make a new low for this large downtrend. But price action does that in turns basically. So after we have this spike here, we clearly overshoot, and we're expecting two legs to make a new low, which happened here. So these are the two initial attempts to make a new low, and they fail. And they also act as a break for this uptrend here. So you get a break, and then after you get the break, you have two options. Either this second leg will push out eventually to form a new low, or as it's in this case, it just holds at this level, and then it attempts to play out this small uptrend first. So you have two pushes attempting to play out this blue uptrend, and then it fails to do so. So price action works the same way, right? We get this break, two attempts to play out, failing to make a new high here, pushes the price into a larger down measure move, which again, it's the same idea. It can be one of the two things. It can be a break for this larger uptrend here, which it is, right? You have that uptrend had this overshoot, and now it's forming a break. And you would like to see how it reacts on this area. If it pushes back, so it pushes below, retests it from below, and pushes, it pushes under it again, then that's a tell that we may be going for even larger leg down, which eventually happened. But after reaching this down measure move, it also attempted to play out this uptrend as well. So you have one attempt, second attempt to play out this uptrend, but again it failed once again. And when that failure happens, it pushed us into an even larger break, something like this, which is a break for this larger uptrend here. So this uptrend, the overshoot, large break, three incremental breaks, right? Each playing or attempting to play out a smaller channel. So this channel with its own break, two attempts to play out. After that, those two attempts failed. It created this intermediate break for this channel, and then it had two attempts to play out this channel as well, which failed again here. So when this fails, it created this larger break, which is a break for this uptrend. And after it reached this also acts as a large failed second entry long, basically short, sorry. So at that moment, it created this large failed second entry short. These two legs act as two attempts to make a new low for this uptrend. It eventually ended playing out this uptrend first before pushing back into making a new low for this downtrend here. So it's quite important to be aware of this and have this multiple potential trends in your mind, because a lot of times when price is chopping like this, it usually does these exact things. It forms bigger picture structures for the trends that are already there. You just need to be aware of them. So yeah, that's the idea. Thank you.